Structure of human eye. The human eye is the most remarkable of all optical devices. The picture shows some of its main anatomical features. The eyeball is approximately spherical with a diameter of about 25 centimeters. Here is the structure of human eye. This is cornea. Cornea. That means the front portion more sharply curved and is covered by a transparent protective membrane called as cornea. This part is called cornea. It is this portion visible from outside. See here, cornea. The front portion more sharply curved and is covered by a transparent protective membrane is called cornea. It is this portion visible from outside. This is cornea. And light enters the eye through the cornea. Light enters into eye through this portion. And the next part is aqueous humor. Here, behind the cornea, that is here, behind the cornea, there is a place filled with a liquid called aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. Behind cornea, there is a place filled with a liquid called aqueous humor. Here some liquid will be there. That liquid is called aqueous humor. Behind the cornea, there is a place filled with a liquid called aqueous humor. Next, iris. A muscular tissue and ring-like structure here. This one. A muscular tissue and a ring-like structure. This blue part. Okay. Behind the aqueous humor, here is the aqueous humor. There is a ring-like structure behind the aqueous humor are called as the iris. The color of iris actually indicates the color of the eye. The iris also helps regulate or adjust exposure by adjusting the iris. See here. Here. This part is called as the iris. A muscular tissue and ring-like structure behind the aqueous humor are called as the iris. The color of iris actually indicate the color of the eye. The iris helps regulate or adjust exposure by adjusting the iris. And the next part is pupil. This portion, the small ball is there now here. It is called pupil. Pupil. Let us see here. This one. Okay. A small opening in the iris. Here is the iris. There is a small opening in the iris known as pupil. Its size is controlled by the help of iris because The size of the pupil will be controlled by the iris, and it controls the amount of light that enters the eye. Light enters through pupil, and the amount of light is controlled by the size of the pupil, and this size will be again controlled by the iris. Okay, a small opening in the iris is known as a pupil. Its size is controlled by the help of iris. I already told you it controls the amount of light that enters the eye by changing its size, and further its size, that is the size of the pupil, will be controlled by the iris. Now the next one is lens. The next part is the lens, and behind the pupil, here is the pupil. Behind the pupil there is a transparent structure, this subtle structure. There is a transparent subtle structure called a lens. It has the prime importance in the operation of the entire eye. It will refract the light falling on it and forms image on the retina. Here is the retina. You will learn it later what is retina. And the eye lens is flexible. Moreover, the eye lens is flexible. Why? Because its shape can be altered by the ciliary muscles. Here are the ciliary muscles. You will learn the function of the ciliary muscles later. And the eye has a fixed image distance. Wherever the position of the object is, eye has to form its image on the retina only, and the distance between the lens, that is eye lens, and the retina is always constant. That means eye has to form its image all the time at the fixed distance only. It is possible only by changing its focal length. That's why I told you eye is flexible and its shape can be altered by means of the ciliary muscles. You will learn what are ciliary muscles in the next. This is the lens, eye lens. See here, behind the pupil there is a transparent structure called lens. By the action of ciliary muscles, here are the ciliary muscles, it changes its shape to focus light on the retina. It becomes thinner to focus distant objects and becomes thicker to focus nearby objects. That means it becomes larger. The size of the eye lens will become larger in seeing distant objects, and the size of the eye lens will become smaller in seeing nearby objects. That means here the size of the eye lens changes with respect to the position of the object in front of it, so that it always forms the image of the object on the retina here. So the image distance is same. In order to form image all the time at the same distance, the only way is it has to change its focal length. To change its focal length, its shape should be altered, and it can be altered by the ciliary muscles here. And the next part is ciliary muscles. I already told you the ciliary muscles play an important role in modifying the shape of the eye lens. The ciliary muscles are capable of modifying the curvature of the lens, isn't it? These two are the ciliary muscles, and these two marked curves here, these are the suspensory ligaments to which the ciliary muscles are suspended. Okay, so the ciliary muscles affect the focal length of the lens. In viewing the nearby objects, the ciliary muscles will become tense automatically. That means they will contract, causing the eye lens to become thicker. That means its curvature will become more, not radius of curvature, its curvature will become more. So when the curvature of the lens becomes more, its focal length becomes less, isn't it? That means in seeing nearby objects, the ciliary muscles tense automatically, thereby increasing the curvature of the lens, shortening the focal length. When viewing the distant objects, the ciliary muscles get relaxed and the lens will become larger, so that the focal length becomes larger and maximum. Okay, that means when viewing objects which are farther, the ciliary muscles relax. That means the lens becomes thinner. When it becomes thinner means its curvature becomes less, hence its focal length will become maximum or more. So it is the ciliary muscles that adjust the focal length of the eye lens. If ciliary muscles do not adjust the focal length of the lens, eye lens, the image will not be formed correctly on the retina. When the images are not formed on the retina, we could not able to see them clearly. Okay, on aging, the ciliary muscles will not function properly, therefore we will get some eye defects. So the ciliary muscles are responsible in accommodation of the lens. Accommodation of the lens means the lens has to change its focal length depending upon the position of the object kept in front of it, isn't it? So the lens has to change its focal length. That is the only way the lens can form all the images on the retina at the fixed distance of 2.5 centimeters. Here the image distance is always same. See here, the ciliary muscles are capable of modifying the curvature of the lens and thereby affecting the focal length of the lens. When viewing objects which are nearby, the ciliary muscles contract, the lens becomes thicker. When viewing the objects which are farther, the ciliary muscles relax, the lens becomes thinner. When the lens becomes thicker, it means that its size will become smaller. When its size becomes smaller, the focal length will become smaller. When the lens becomes thinner means its size becomes more. When its size becomes larger, its focal length will also becomes larger. Next, retina. It is a light sensitive layer. See here, this one. This one is the retina, on which the eye lens forms images. It is a light sensitive layer that consists of numerous nerve cells. It converts images formed by the lens into electrical impulses. These electrical impulses are then transmitted to the brain through optic nerves. Here are the optic nerves. It is a light sensitive layer that consists of numerous nerve cells, and it converts images formed by the lens into electrical impulses, and these electrical impulses are sent to the brain by the nerves, optic nerves. So these electrical impulses are then transmitted. Next, vitreous humor. Here, this part, orange part, a jelly-like substance. Okay, a region filled with jelly-like substance is called vitreous humor. This one. Next, suspensory ligaments. Here, these are the suspensory ligaments, and the lens is connected to the ciliary muscles. Here are the ciliary muscles. The lens is connected to the ciliary muscles by the suspensory ligaments. Here, the lens is connected, this lens is connected to the ciliary muscles here by the suspensory ligaments. The next one is optic nerve. Optic nerve. See here. This is the optic nerve. So optic nerves are of two types actually. These include cones and rods. Okay. Optic nerves are of two types. These include cones and rods. Cones. Cones are the nerve cells that are more sensitive to bright light. They help in detailed central and color vision. And the next type is rods. Rods are the optic nerve cells that are more sensitive to dim lights. They help in peripheral vision. Okay, these are the parts, major parts in the structure of eye. Now let us study the functioning of eye. So far we have learnt the various parts and their functions in eye. Okay, functioning of eye. See here, the light that enters the eye forms an image on the retina. Here, the distance between the eye lens and retina is always fixed. It is 2.5 centimeters only. Okay, the distance between the eye lens, that is from here, and retina, that is here, is 2.5 centimeters. That means the eye has a fixed image distance of 2.5 centimeters. Image has to be formed all the time at the distance of 2.5 centimeters only. The only way for images to be produced on the retina for objects located at different distances is for the focal length of the lens to be adjustable. Here, the distance between the eye lens and the retina is 2.5 centimeters. That means image has to be formed all the time on the retina only. It is a fixed distance only. In order to form an image at the fixed distance of 2.5 centimeters all the time, the eye lens has to change its focal length, and this focal length will be changed by the ciliary muscles. Okay, see here, that means the eye has a fixed image distance, that is 2.5 centimeters. Therefore, the only way for images to be produced on the retina for objects located at different distances is for the focal length of the lens to be adjustable. So, to adjust the focal length of the eye lens, it is the ciliary muscle that adjusts the focal length. I already explained this. That's all. It is the ciliary muscle that adjusts the focal length of the eye lens. When eye looks very distant object, that is farther objects, at that time what will happen? The ciliary muscles get relaxed. The ciliary muscles get relaxed. Then the eye lens will become larger. Here is the convex lens. The size of the lens will become larger. Okay. Now you compare this size and later size. You can see the size is more. Now ciliary muscles are relaxed and the lens becomes larger. Then the focal length will be maximum. When viewing the objects at infinity, that is far away from the eye, at that time the ciliary muscles get relaxed so that the size of the eye lens will become more. When its size becomes more, obviously the focal length will become maximum then. So the maximum focal length of the lens is only 2.5 centimeters. We know one case. In case of convex lens, when the object is placed at infinity, its image will be formed at the focal point on the other side of the lens. That means here parallel rays will come like this and fall on the lens. After refraction, they will meet here. So the maximum focal length of the lens, eye lens, is 2.5 centimeters when object is at infinity. Okay. See here how the lens is increasing, isn't it? See, you can compare the sizes. Previously, the size of the lens was small, though here the ciliary muscles got relaxed, hence the size has become more. The size of the lens has become more. Therefore, the focal length will become maximum. The maximum focal length is now 2.5 centimeters. That means when the object is at infinity, its image will be formed on the retina. And the retina means the distance between the lens and retina. We know it is 2.5 centimeters. That's why the focal length also becomes 2.5 centimeters. Here, this is the distance between the eye lens and retina. It is 2.5 centimeters. See here, the maximum focal length of the eye lens is 2.5 centimeters. It happens when the object is at infinity. That means when viewing the distant objects, the eye lens will have the maximum focal length. Why? Because at that time, in viewing the distant objects, the ciliary muscles will get relaxed so that the eye lens will become larger, so that the focal length will become maximum, that is equal to 2.5 centimeters. Then the image of the distant object will be formed on the retina, that is at the distance of 2.5 centimeters. Okay, this is the maximum focal length will have by the eye lens in viewing the distant objects. So the maximum focal length of the eye lens in viewing the distant objects is 2.5 centimeters. That's all. Now see here. Okay. Here I have drawn the principal axis to understand the image formation. Here is the object. Okay, a tree is there here. Now and it is a distant object. Distant object means far away from the lens. Now let us take a ray. It is coming like this, and don't imagine that this ray is parallel to the principal axis. It's not parallel. If the object is at infinity, then we suppose that the rays coming from the object at infinity are parallel. So here this ray is not coming parallel to the principal axis. If it is traveling parallel to the principal axis, on falling the lens after refraction, this eye lens will have the focal point here. That means the ray should go like this, But here the ray is not parallel to the principal axis. Hence, it will not pass through the focal point. Isn't it? So here the size of the eye lens is maximum. I told you. In viewing the distant object, the ciliary muscles will become relaxed, hence the size of the eye lens will become more. Okay, so at that time it has the maximum focal length of 2.5 centimeters. It means that this eye lens should have its focal point here. However, when parallel rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, then after refraction these parallel rays will meet at the focal point only. But here the object is distant object only, but it is not at infinity. Here the ray is not parallel to the principal axis. You don't get confused. Why? Because the focal point of this lens is here, and after refraction this ray is not passing through the focal point. No, this ray is not parallel to the principal axis. Okay. After refraction, see here, it passes like this. So you will get a focal plane actually here. Next, the other ray which passes through the optic center will not get deviated. This is another ray. That's all. These two rays are meeting here on the retina, hence the image of this object will be formed here. Okay, that's all. Observe carefully. A small image has been formed here. Okay, at what distance the image has been formed? A distance of 2.5 centimeters only, because it's a fixed image distance. Eye has the fixed image distance of 2.5 centimeters. So here is the image on retina. So here the lens has the maximum focal length of 2.5 centimeters, and the image is formed at the distance of 2.5 centimeters, that is equal to the distance between the lens and retina. Now observe the image. Here on the retina an inverted image has been formed. Although the image on the retina is inverted, it is interpreted by the brain as being right side up only. Okay, and it is the inverted image will be treated as upright image by the brain. Okay, so in this case means in viewing the distant objects, what happens here? the ciliary muscles become relaxed. Hence, the size of the eye lens will become more. When the size of the eye lens will become more, its focal length will become maximum, that is 2.5 centimeters. That's now when eye looks close object here. Suppose when the object is very near to the eye, that means at the least distance of distinct vision. Suppose if the object is placed at the least distance of the distinct vision, that means here at the distance of 25 centimeters for the normal eye, then what will happen? In viewing the nearby objects, the ciliary muscles will become tense automatically, they will contract. That means the ciliary muscles compress the eye lens. Then the size of the eye lens will become shorter, causing its focal length to become less. See here, this is the size of the eye lens. Okay, now you can compare the size of the eye lens now and next the size. See here, now ciliary muscles are tensed and the lens becomes shorter, then the focal length will be minimum. See here how the ciliary muscles are contracting, isn't it? You can compare this size with the previous size, isn't it? Earlier the size of the lens was more, now it is less. The size has become smaller. When the size becomes smaller, the focal length becomes less. Okay, now the distance is constant, the image distance is constant here, that is it is a distance between the eye lens and the retina, it is 2.5 centimeters always. Now look at the following diagram. Let us observe how the eye lens will form the image on the retina. In this case, that is when eye looks close object. Now this is the principal axis I am drawing, isn't it? For our convenience to know the position of the image formed, how the image will be formed on the retina by the eye lens. Now this is the eye lens, that is a tensed lens. Previously it was relaxed lens, here it is a tensed lens. That means the lens has become contracted. It has become contracted. So here is the object. Assume that the object is placed at the distance of 25 centimeters, at the least distance of distinct vision. So it is the close object. Now I am taking a ray from this end. So this is the ray. Assume that it is a parallel ray. Okay. Now the focal point of this eye lens will not be here. The focal point will be somewhere here. So the parallel ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis, the ray which is traveling parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it will pass through the focal point like this, because the focal point of the eye lens has been shifted from here to here. You know the focal length is nothing but the distance between the optic center and the focal point. Now the focal point is here. So the ray will refracted and passes through the focal point. Here is the focal point now. Next, the second ray I am taking from the same point here and which passes through the optic center and will not get deviated. And these two rays will meet on the retina here so that the image of the object will be formed here. See here a second ray is passing through the optic center of the eye lens. So it won't get deviated. So going as it is, and these two rays are met on the retina here. So here an inverted image will be formed on the retina. That's all. Okay. So here the image distance equal to 2.5 centimeters. The image distance equal to 2.5 centimeters. So even though the object is placed closer to the eye, its image will be formed by the lens on the retina only. So it was possible for the eye lens to form the retina, to form the image on the retina whenever it changes its focal length. Previously, the focal point was here. That's why the maximum focal length is 2.5 centimeters in viewing the distant object. In viewing the close objects, the focal length becomes smaller. So, from here to here it is. Later, we can calculate the maximum focal length and minimum focal length an eye lens should have. So here is the close object. So here the lens has the minimum focal length. The image formed at the distance of 2.5 centimeters, that is equal to the distance between the lens and retina. That means here the image distance equal to 2.5 centimeters. The image of a closer object is also formed on the retina in this case also. That means it is nothing but accommodation of eye. Accommodation of eye is nothing but eye lens can change its focal length depending upon the position of the object in order to form its image on the retina. Next, accommodation of lens. So the accommodation of lens is nothing but the process in which the lens changes its focal length to focus on objects at different distances is called accommodation of lens. So the eye lens has to form images on the retina irrespective of the position of the object in front of it. That means eye lens has to form the image at the fixed distance. So it is possible only when the eye lens changes its focal length. So the process in which the lens changes its focal length to form the image on the retina of an object at all distances is called accommodation of lens. So The eye lens will adjust its focal length by the help of ciliary muscles. Now, what are the maximum and minimum focal lengths of eye lens? We have to calculate. What are the minimum and maximum focal length of the eye lens? The eye lens will have the minimum focal length in viewing the nearby objects, and it will have the maximum focal length in viewing the farther or distant objects. Let us calculate the minimum and maximum focal length of the eye lens. Let us derive it. Now, finding the maximum focal length of the eye lens. See here, finding the maximum focal length. Okay. Here is the eye and this is the eye lens. So this is the eye lens. The eye lens is convex in nature. It's a convex lens. So eye lens will have the maximum focal length in viewing the distant objects. That is, when the object is at infinity, it will have the maximum focal length because the ciliary muscles get relaxed and the size of the eye lens will become more. Okay, and here is the principal axis. When the object is at infinity means if you compare the distance of the distant object with the size, otherwise with the radius here, radius of the eye lens, so the distance of the distant object is much more. That's why we consider it as the distant object, that is the object at infinity. We know that in case of convex lens, when the object is at infinity, its image will be formed at the focal point on the other side of the lens. So when the object is at infinity, here this is the eye lens, here the lens will have the maximum focal length for very distant objects, that is when the object is at infinity. The parallel rays from the object at infinity falling on the eye lens are refracted and they form a point-sized image on retina. Okay, so here some parallel rays will come like this. These rays are also parallel to the principal axis. We know that when the rays are traveling parallel to the principal axis, falling on the convex lens, after refraction, they will converge to the focal point. See here, these are the parallel rays which are coming from the distant object, and these rays are falling on the lens here. And you know that when the rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, falling on the convex lens, they will meet, otherwise they will converge at the focal point on the other side of the lens after refraction. See how they are converging here. That means the refracted rays are converging on the retina only. That's why a small, very small, otherwise tiny image will be formed on the retina. So here the image distance equal to 2.5 centimeters. From here to here, you know that the distance between the lens and the retina is always constant. So in this case, the image distance is equal to 2.5 centimeters. And we do not know the maximum focal length. Let us consider the maximum focal length of the eye lens is f maximum. Okay, and the object distance here is because infinity. Why? Because object is at infinity. So in this case, u equal to, that is object distance equal to minus infinity. Why? Because I am measuring the uh, object distance in opposite to the direction of the incident ray. That's why I am taking it as a negative. And here u equal to minus infinity and v equal to, that is image distance equal to 2.5 centimeters and f equal to f maximum. Now we have to substitute these values in the lens formula. Here image distance equal to 2.5 centimeters. So object distance u equal to minus infinity and image distance v equal to 2.5 centimeters. Once you have known u and v, we can calculate the f value, that is the focal length of the eye lens, by using the formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So here the object distance is equal to u equal to minus infinity and image distance, it is fixed v equal to 2.5 centimeters according to the lens makers, not lens makers, lens formula. According to the lens formula, it is 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. In this, f is the focal length, v is the image distance and u is the object distance. Let us substitute u and v in this formula. Here I considered f as f maximum because the eye lens will have the maximum focal length when the object is at infinity. So 1 by f maximum equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u in this case. So 1 by f maximum equal to 1 by 2.5 minus 1 by minus infinity, and these two minus minus will become plus, or 1 by f maximum equal to 1 by 2.5 plus 1 by infinity. We know that 1 by infinity is equal to 0. This whole term will become as 0. Then 1 by f maximum equal to 1 by 2.5. 1 by f maximum equal to 1 by 2.5 plus 0, or because 1 by infinity equal to 0, f maximum equal to 2.5 centimeters. So for the eye lens, the maximum focal length is 2.5 centimeters when the object is at infinity. Hence, the maximum focal length f maximum equal to 2.5 centimeters. Now finding the minimum focal length of eye lens. Finding the minimum focal length, eye lens will have the minimum focal length in case of close objects. So here is the eye and this is the eye lens, and this one is the principal axis and this one is the eye lens. So let us put a point object on the principal axis at the least distance of distinct vision. Here L indicates the least distance of distinct vision point here. That means from here to here it is 25 centimeters in case of normal eye. So I placed a point sized object here at L. So this is a close object. Now the lens will have the minimum focal length for close objects, that is when the object is at least distance of distinct vision. Okay, let a point object is at L, that is at the least distance of distinct vision. Now here is also the image is formed on the retina. Let us see how the image will be formed on the retina of this point sized object. Here three rays are passing like this. After refraction, these three rays will meet here. The refracted rays are meeting again on the retina here only. So here don't get confused, because here the incident rays are not parallel to the principal axis. These rays are not parallel. If they were parallel, definitely they will pass through the focal point here, somewhere here. Actually the eye lens has its focal point here somewhere now, but the incident rays are not parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so after refraction, these three refracted rays are meeting again on the retina. Hence its image will be formed again on the retina itself. So for close objects also the image will be formed on the retina by the eye lens. Okay, so somewhere here the focal point is there. Here the image distance is equal to 2.5 centimeters. The image distance is equal to again 2.5 centimeters only. And what is the distance of the object here? Because the object is kept at L, that is at the least distance of the distinct vision. It is minus 25 centimeters. So here u is equal to minus 25 centimeters and v is equal to 2.5 centimeters. Okay, from here to here it is 25 centimeters. So object distance is equal to u is equal to minus 25 centimeters and image distance v equal to 2.5 centimeters. Let us substitute these values in the lens formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. I will let f as f minimum in this case because lens will have the minimum focal length in this case. So here object distance u equal to minus 25 centimeters and the image distance v equal to 2.5 centimeters. It is fixed all the time. According to the lens formula, 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. Here I let f as f minimum. In this case, the focal length is minimum. That's why I have taken it as f minimum. 1 by f minimum equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. Let us substitute these values. 1 by f minimum equal to 1 by 2.5 minus 1 by minus 25 or 1 by f minimum equal to 1 by 2.5 plus 1 by 25. I am removing this decimal point by keeping 1 0 here. 1 by f minimum equal to 10 by 25 plus 1 by 25. Here the denominators are same, hence simply add the numerators. Or 1 by f minimum is equal to 11 by 25 or f minimum is equal to 2.27 centimeters approximately. So this is the minimum focal length the eye lens will have. Hence, the minimum focal length f minimum equal to 2.27 centimeters. Here is the conclusion. Okay. See here. The eye lens will have the maximum focal length for very distant objects, that is when the object is at infinity here. So f maximum is 2.5 centimeters. This eye lens will have the maximum focal length when the object is at infinity, and that maximum value of focal length is 2.5 centimeters. It is equal to the distance between the lens and the retina. The eye lens will have the minimum focal length for close objects, that is when the object is at least distance of distinct vision, that is here. So when the object is here, in viewing this object, the eye lens will have the minimum focal length. It is equal to 2.27 centimeters. Somewhere here. Its focal point will be somewhere here. That's why f minimum is equal to 2.27 centimeters. Previously it was here. In case of maximum focal length, the focal point will be here. In case of minimum focal length, the focal point will be here somewhere. Okay. So the maximum focal length f maximum equal to 2.5 centimeters and the minimum focal length f minimum equal to 2.27 centimeters. So this is nothing but accommodation of eye lens. So the eye lens will change its focal length depending upon the position of the object in front of it, so that it will form its image always on the retina, and the ciliary muscles are responsible for changing its shape and changing the focal length. Thank you.